Hello? 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 I don't think this will hook up to the live. I gotta check this. Let's see. Hello? Nobody in here. I don't know the troubles I've seen. Alright, I gotta go to original sound. I don't want all that echo. I want the mic up higher. Yeah, we want it crystal clear like that. Yeah, yo. Can you hear me in the chat? The one person that just came in. I'll see you. I don't know who you are, but I'll see you. I'll see the number one. Can you hear me? Wait, do I have chat? Yeah, I have chat. Is there? I got a like. Guys, is there a chat down there? Like, I don't see. What the hell? Okay, there we go. All right. All righty then. All right, so everybody hears me. Chat's on. I can see things. Blah, blah, blah. I was going to do, hey, I'm late. Anybody that was waiting for me, if they were, I sincerely doubt it, but I want to get every week on 6 o'clock, but 7 o'clock works if I can't make 6. I was going to do another episode of the podcast tonight. I'm not prepared. I literally I got a coffee sitting in the thing. I had to yell at my dog. And I hate that. I hate when I have to yell at me. So sit down. Just sit down and freaking, I got him punished. She's in timeout. Should be on my lap getting belly rubs, but he did. Yeah, and I didn't have a chance to even think or organize my thoughts. But just wanted to jump on. What's up, y'all? The concert, yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. The Wardrobe concert is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen them, obviously that's what the long form video is going to be about this Wednesday. I'm really working on my my documentary skills, which doesn't mean. Also, anybody that's that's in the comments already, that's a fan of my content already, doing more like documentary style doesn't mean that my whole channel is going to go to a vlog. I just happen to do 2 vlogs back to back. So every week I'm going to change what kind of things I'm doing. Thank you. I'm going to change the styles that I'm doing. But I did 2 vlogs back to back because I had 2 cool weekends. You know what I mean? So if I had a cool weekend going on, I'm absolutely going to do a vlog, right? The name of the channel is How to Heathen. So what better way to teach people, the beautiful path of heathenry and self-improvement and, venerating the Norse gods, the ancestors in the land of Tyrion. Making your taking control of your fate and your destiny, right? Or trying to influence it and put your hand into it, right? That's pretty funny, but you're not catching me on that. Like I say, so anybody that the whole goal is to do this documentary, right? So I'm going to start doing a little bit of more documentary stuff. That doesn't mean it's going to be all vlog. I will have some educational thing. I'm putting together, which is been a lot of research and it's a lot of organization. So this is the one that I'm figuring within a month I'm going to be having it ready and released and all that, and ready to upload it. But I'm doing a full ritual guide. So I'm doing I'm going to start it with what is rituals, what do we know about rituals, what's the historic evidence of them, and then what we use, and then into modern, right? So it's probably going to be a 25-minute, really organized, really well-structured video. I want it to be the ultimate guide to Norse pagan rituals or to creating rituals and just to give people ideas and, hey, just give people ideas to what to do with their practice. It's one of the biggest questions that I always get asked is what do I do? How can I do on a daily basis? Or what can I do? What activities can I do? So on the long form videos, what I want to do is show. I want to, show me doing heathen shit, I'm doing one episode. I believe it might be the episode for next week. This episode's already done, the Wadruna episode. So And I'm letting everybody know right now, if you guys are in the audience and you're looking forward to seeing the Wardruna episode, none of the performance will be in the video. I'm a big, big advocate of intellectual property and ownership rights and artistic endeavors. So there are parts where I showed stills that I took pictures of. Photography was allowed as long as it wasn't flash photography. People were filming too. I know that. I filmed a small part, and then I filmed the end. I filmed literally the last note and the standing ovation, and like the standing ovation went for like good 6 minutes. Like I got like 3.5 minutes of it on film, and I'm just like, wow. And I was part of that too. I was standing up and applauding myself. But the way that they took, like, so anybody that doesn't know of Wardruna, or like their biggest pop culture contribution is to Vikings. So they're like the sound of Vikings. Einar was like, I believe he was a musical consultant. I know there's a few. Their songs are in a few things, but they kind of like structured the sound of the show Vikings. So the music that's in Vikings, the ambiance, the ambionic music is what Wardruna does, and it was absolutely amazing. Just sitting like the light show, because they did like a puppet show, so like they had like a behind them, right? Oh man, Mike went down. Mike down! Mike down! Mike down! Wow, that's all over the place. So they had, fine. So they had a big thing like this, and they were performing in front of it, and it had like a shadow show behind the stage as they were doing it. So, that was the theatrics of it. Like it was the light, the way they had like light beams coming down from the ceiling, and like as somebody was like singing or soloing on an ancient musical instrument, like it was awesome. It was awe-inspiring. Like, I mean, at the end of it, like it literally, it made me want to bring more, because they do exactly what I believe in. They use ancient tools in a modern way. So they like that's what my whole brand's about. Like, right? That's what I promote. Everything that I promote is about like this ancient path and this ancient wisdom in a modern way, right? We're not running around with freaking battle axes and swords and shields on, in the middle of downtown Philadelphia or Manhattan or LA or, and this isn't a cosplay to me. This is a spiritual path, and I take it seriously as a way of improving my own life, a way of improving the ones around me, and just a knowledge-driven spiritual structure. So Wardruna was very inspirational, very aspirational. The way they were on a global stage is just, it's amazing, And they were playing the Tagalapa, which was like this strange, like string instrument that like they held it, and he had like a bow, and it was like he was playing the bass or a cello, but there was no neck on the instrument. Like he had to like tension the strings while he was doing it. And then as he would adjust that tension adjustment would change the soundscape. Like it was just so cool. Like, and I had these fucking seats that we were in a balcony. It was like 100-foot drop, but I could see literally right down onto the stage, completely dead center in the middle. It was absolutely awesome. What else? What else is going on? Oh, I think I told you about, I talked about that in the last video in the last episode. I'm trying to think about what I talked about since the last slide. The fashion. I was looking into that too because I like the way that they the Einar, the way Einar dresses. He dresses traditional, but it has like a modern feel to it the way he does it. So brother. So it has like a modern feel to it. So like the last time I did a live on YouTube, we were doing. I was talking about like fashion and like I would love to introduce like a modern style or clothes that are modern but a throwback in the authentic look and the feel to what they are, like some kind of traditionalism to it. Like that's there were people there that had like the Renaissance Festival kind of shirts, and like that's cool, but like I don't personally like that style for myself, but I want to show something that has an influence to it. So I'm very much of the if there isn't something already there, I'm gonna be the one that makes it. You know what I mean? So like yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine. But how is everybody? You know, everybody's has everybody's week been going? Anybody got any questions in the comments? Because I really did not prepare for this live, but not for nothing. I wanted to go. I've just got so much shit going on, too busy. I went to my therapy today, so it was with my therapist for like an hour and a half. I do it every other week, so we do like a little bit of a longer session. Gym earlier, just working on the channel. I go you. I mean, I don't think I'm not going to Valhalla, bro. Like, I'm okay with that, though. I don't really know if, I know I'm never going to meet the criteria to go to Valhalla. Like, unless, like, all this crazy shit with this guy getting popped in the neck turns into some kind of pagan Christian civil war. You know? Any new Norse crash being made? No, but I'm going to show you. I think I showed the stick last time. But I think I'm doing that as an episode. So, I got this. I showed this last week, though. But I got this. Oh, no, I showed it in a Discord. So, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to turn this into a rune set. So, what I'm going to do is strip off all the bulk, sand it down, and then thin slice coins out of it. 24 to be exact, right? I already kind of eyeballed it. How many it would be? It would be 8. It had to be 4, 8, 16, 24. Yeah, there would have to be 4 on this side, like 8 on each half. No, 6, 12 on each half. So it would have to be, yes. Right, it'd have to be in the middle, it'd have to be 6 slots. And then just take those, and I have these little room stencils. All right, I'm about to unplug my mixing board. Let me know in the comments if my audio changes at all. My audio changed. I just had to remove the plug because I'm going off my phone. Has the audio changed at all in the last like 3 minutes of the live? Of the stream. Huh, chat? But, am I plugged in? Am I charging? Yeah, I'm charging. Your accent is really cool. Like, it went lower in monotone, it was just that me. Oh, it flattened? So if it flattened, no, the mic's picking me up. So, wait, I don't think I'm connected via Bluetooth. Hold on. No, I'm connected via Bluetooth. So do you hear this? when I do this, does that change the auto tune? Wait, I went to. Hold on, I didn't organize nothing before this. Y'all hear the voice of now batting number 3, Derek Jeter. Y'all hear the voice of God right now, and then this should change it back. Right here, yeah, yo. Right, you guys, do you hear the echo that I'm hearing in my headphones? That's what my question is. Do you guys hear an echo behind my voice? Echo, oh. Because that's what I hear in these headphones. And now it should be off. It should just be a crisper audio. No echo. All right, so the sound card's not even attached to it anymore. All right. No, because I got this. It's just wired up everywhere. So I got this, right? And you see how that's active? So that connects to this mic, and this connects to the phone. But it also has Bluetooth. So this should be louder if this is working via Bluetooth right now. But I don't think it is, because if I had it out here, because I can hear the output of what the board's putting out when I talk through the mic and I have these on. But I'm wondering, that should have just thudded. You should have heard a real loud thud if the mic was on. Because I just dropped the mic, like mic drop. But now no echo. So I'm just going to turn the board off because I'm just wasting the battery then. If I'm not louder, right? Yeah. So yeah, the mic wasn't working. I had it plugged in, but obviously when you live stream, it burns through a lot of plug really quickly. All right, so I don't know. I'm more live stream literate on the other app, right? On the clock app. So I don't know what I can get away with. What's up, Wolfman? I don't know what words I can get away with. So I'm gonna speak clock app friendly. Like there, you can't even mention. Like if I said this app, if I say YouTube on that other app, it suppresses your live. Like they're really finicky with like what you can say and what you can't say. So like if you see me stopping for a second to like gather my thoughts, because I don't know what I can get away with and what I can't get away with. Like on that app, I know exactly how to speak. I'll use some of that same friendly terminology. But I need to dirty my lungs, right? And I have to go outside for that. So y'all are gonna move with me, and we're gonna move this portable. But it's a little bit of a project, so bear with me as we're doing it. Yes, I agree with you 100% on that, John Wicker. John Wicker, are you related to the John Wick? All right, so for all of y'all are wondering, like, really what I just did. All right, let's see if I can't kaisen at y'all. All right, let me kaisen at this shit. If I can do this right, you can make it look like there's a cameraman. Like, if you keep it, because I got it on the tripod, so if I keep the tripod far enough away, I can't bend the tripod enough. But you can make it look like there's a cameraman, like, walking backwards and shit behind you. All right, where is my... Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted a piece of this. All right. Yes, a buffalo chicken egg roll and coffee. Don't judge me. Now, let's get the little buddy, because he's in trouble. So, what's up, Prince? So, he got yelled at. He had a chicken bone in his freaking mouth. Came in from outside in the yard, picked it up. And he knows he's not supposed to pick up anything outside. So he got yelled at bad, especially what he picked up. That could have hurt him. So he's been laying there I think he's 3 years old. I had him there for like 10 minutes, right? 15 minutes. Come on. Come here. Come here. Well, he knows he's in trouble. Hey, come here. You know what you did was wrong, right? That was bad. All right? Good boy. Give me paw. You gonna do it again? High five. You gonna do it again? High five. High five. High five me. High five me. High five. High five. There you go. Man, you think you don't know. You're still, mister, I'm still not happy with you, okay? All right, thank you, bro. Good seeing you. It's wicked. Yeah, yeah. Come on. It's wicked. Yeah, wicked. Chick with the chicks practice. This the ooh. Yeah, you better not play, bro. I don't like the way you're looking off of there. All right. Bear with me 1 second. Rocky. Where are you? I will. Alright. So watch this. Here's a cool little setup. So anybody that's ever thought about streaming or anything like that, one of the biggest investments you can make if you're thinking about any kind of content creation is a battery bank, right? You need a power pack. This one I got is solar power. So it charges in the sunlight. I don't even have to recharge it at night, right? So, but these are great for, having a few of these is great for not only charging equipment on the fly, like when you run out of juice, but it's also good for, doing other things mobile. So these like ring light plugs, right? They have that, and you can just plug right into there, right? And Viola, now I got light. Right? But I need to get this onto here and get that behind let me clamp that. So now that's clamped, right? I'll take these off the thing. I'll show you the tripod that you're resting on. So now there's the tripod, right? See? Right here. There's the tripod, right? Connect that light to it, and now, instead of doing a stream like this at night that way, or even if you have a ring light stand, I just don't like the ring light stands because I just don't. But you can do it like that. And the other thing too is you can power right into that, and you have yourself a little mobile pack unit because that has more than one exit for more than one outlet for power. Let me make sure this is locked in tight. That's in tight. I don't want the phone falling out of the holder. And then this I got on a carabinger. And I literally just clipped that. Literally just clipped that to anywhere on the freaking thing. And now I got a completely mobile stand. You like that, right? Like ingenuity, huh? Magnuson, everything is absolutely fine. I appreciate your offer, but it's just you, dude. I mean, I appreciate your concern, but I'll tell you this. If what you're insinuating is some kind of relapse or judgment in or lapse in sobriety, I wouldn't be on a live. I wouldn't be bothered doing anything. So, if you see content from me or making content, that means I'm not doing other things. Because if I'm doing the other things, I'm not making content. Because I don't really care I don't care about anything else. But I appreciate the looking out. Good looking, you know. But yeah, to try and judge my sobriety through a screen, whereas, you know, how many lives have you seen me do? That's another question of mine. Because if you're judging how I am live by what is on a polished, finished product of a video, yeah, you kind of, you know, it's not a good barometer. Yeah. I don't understand why that is. Yeah. But I appreciate the looking out, the concern. But I'm absolutely, I understand, appreciate it. Dave, I do it. What I do with this channel, with the platform, with my all my accounts and all the content that I do it because I love it. I would make content. I make content for free, basically, right? I don't make a living off of what I make. TikTok gives me basically cigarette money. Like it gives me money for smokes every month. For real. Rocky, here, to me. Rocky, get over here. Now, come here. Good boy. I wanted to grab his thing. I want to keep my hand on his collar. I don't, and when I hear comments like that, and I see, people say things like that, or I get messages like that, that write DMs and stuff, it makes a lot of what I do worth it. Like I said, when I started this path, there wasn't really much. And it took me a lot to sort through the BS. And I had a jump start on most people that are starting this path. I had knowledge of the lore in a more intimate way than most people do. I had knowledge of the lore in a way more intimate way than most people do when they first start this path. Most people usually come to this path through the show Vikings, or they come to the path through the show Mall. What's up, Nick? Gracias. Saludamos. So, like, you guys in Argentina, you speak Portuguese, right? In Argentina, they speak Portuguese down there. So a lot of people come to the North Path through the show Vikings, and they come to it through Marvel, right? I came to it knowing the lore from an academic standpoint and from a cultural standpoint, So like, it was I had like a little bit of jump start, and I still had to shift through, and I still got to shift through nonsense now. Like, there's absolutely people on this app that like, I watch a little. I don't watch many of those content creators. I find a lot of them boring. I think there's a more fun way to get the information across. It's Spanish. Yeah, I know it. Greetings. I know saludos. Saludos desde Argentina. I know it's greetings from Argentina. I speak Spanish. Yo sabe español. Todo mi vivo en el Bronx. Mi esposa para 20 años. Mi esposa para 20 años 100% boricua. En todo mi vivo. Yo trabajo hasta un jefe de cocinados con todos mis empleados mexicanos sin papel. So, yo necesito hablar español, yo no hablo nada, You can say that on there, Nick. You can say that on YouTube comments. That would have got flagged on the clock app. It's a lot less restrictive on this app, right? Um, if that would have been a comic, that would have been filtered. Yeah, but yeah, no, I understand Spanish, but I thought it was Portuguese. That's why I didn't say anything in Spanish. You know, that's why I wasn't speaking in Spanish because like I didn't, I wasn't sure if I believe Argentina or Brazil. I know Brazil speaks Portuguese, right? And I think Argentina, but Argentina speaks Spanish. That's like the language of the country. Really? Okay. I feel like I'm having a freaking I feel like I'm having a Mandela effect moment. Like I could have sworn it was. Oh yeah, I know there's more channels, and I know a lot of people. There's like dealers, there's like there's pew pew salesmen that are on this app, and you see it in the videos a lot more. Like you can actually see one and not be a news outlet or have a check mark, right? Like that's what they need on the clock app. Otherwise, you're hitting a thing, you're hitting a banana, a UGC. No, not a UGC. CGV. Got my fucking initials mixed up. Yeah, my accent is very gringo, bro. I don't have. Same when I speak, like when I speak Old Norse, I speak Norwegian. It's the same. Like in Norwegian, it's like "taki kaffe," and like it sounds like I'm. My accent, I can't. It's very difficult for me to lose the cadence that I have, that I was raised with. It's strange. I'm probably one of the only people that still speaks a foreign language with a Bronx accent. And yeah, I didn't learn Spanish. I didn't learn any language in school. Except I didn't even learn English in school. I learned that at home. Um, Brenda, thank you very much. I appreciate that comment, man. Nah, yeah, I can't hide that accent no matter what I'm speaking. I appreciate, Brandon, thank you very much. I truly appreciate that comment. Like that's why I do a lot of what I do. Is I try to help people, and it's like I said, sometimes like I still sift through the BS. I follow sometimes. I feel messed up with this. There's times I follow creators on the other app that are in the Norse pagan space, not because I want to see their videos. It's kind of like surveillance, like not surveillance. It's kind of like, hey, what's this dude about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this? Am I seeing any kind of dog whistles? And then some people I end up becoming really good friends with. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have had tickets if it wasn't for something like that. Like Anthony, from my Norse pagan journey, we text each other like on a daily basis now, and he's like in I have a circle of friends. He's like in one of them, and I originally followed him because I was like, all right, let's see what this dude's about. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see. I want to see this guy's, how he presents the information, and lo and behold, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm wary of people all the time. It's terrible. Yeah, Anthony is a solid dude. He really is. He's such a good guy. And I absolutely started following it because of, I wanted to make sure. Bjorn Andreas, I've never seen that channel. I'll look into that. Somebody showed me this other guy. I'm not even saying his name, but it survived something. Yo, man, that dude is hardcore ethno, bro. Like that's not, and he's charismatic. That scary combination. It's a dangerous combination in that game, in this game. So like but yeah, Bjorn Andreas, I gotta look into that. My biggest problem too is like I am the textbook. I'm the textbook definition of adult ADHD, unmedicated adult ADHD, right? So like, if videos are too like just a person, like don't get me wrong, I love Ocean. I love he gives out so much information, but sometimes I'm like, all right, let me pause this. I'll come back to it. You know what I mean? Because I want to learn the information, but like the presentation. That's why I do my videos, I guess, the way I do. You can tell by my video editing, like I have a real ADHD style to me. Oh, that's awesome. Um, so yeah, he like that's why I present the videos the way I do. They're pop, 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 pop. Like I think like there was some creators that like I love the information they present, but unfortunately, like I'm neurospicy and I can't sit. Like, you know what I mean? I can't even sit still on my own lives, never mind freaking, when I do solo lives, a lot of this sometimes, I don't know, sometimes if people realize it, sometimes like I have to keep focused in order to stay. Like, we already moved positions like 3 times. You know what I mean? Because like I have ants in my pants. I'm constantly on the, I'm constantly on the act. Like, I'm constantly on the move. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry, I got texts coming in. I was reading them. So, like, I do my video style in my way, so now I'm trying to like slow that down. I have to take, obviously, like I take wisdom wherever I can get it. So some of the other creators that are on this app, right? I see their style, so I gotta not copy, no way, ever. I'm me, I'm always me, I'm very authentic to who I am. But I emulate a little, right? Imitation is a serious form of flattery, right? So like emulating, like, so like I watch like an Ocean video, right? And his lighting's phenomenal, right? His sound is phenomenal, and he presents very professionally, right? Then I see like North Switch, and it's very like sitting in front of the camera. So like that's why I do a lot of my videos walking. I think better when I'm moving. So like I like to do my videos. I like to film my videos when I'm walking. Sometimes it's hard for me to just stand still and talk and convey the information, or that's also why I use scripts, because like if I use on my long form videos, I use probably 60% is scripted, right? 60%, like I sit down and I organize my thoughts and I'm like, all right, let me write this out. And I free script, so I write like I don't write like word for word script. Like I write like notes, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's cool. Uh, yeah, I like Crawford too because of that. I like Jackson Crawford because it's non-political. Yeah, and he has also great landscape. See that, right? Cinematic. A lot of what I do in my editing styles, and I realized that when somebody said in a comment that I use a lot of AI in my videos, I don't at all. And I felt like, all right, well, they're thinking that because I use a lot of stock footage, right? I do a lot of my animations and my edits and my sliding back and forth. I do that with stock footage, right? Or stickers that I create, right? So I want uh, and the whole goal on this is to make a documentary, and no matter what, the documentary has to be cinematic, correct? Or no matter what, like I know what look I'm going for, but I'm trying to develop more of a cinematic feel in my videos, more of a broader landscape type thing, instead of just like standing in one patch of the woods and then I come in post production and I add in all my imaging. So I made it kind of like a little deal to myself. That's why I filmed a brand new opener. If you're in the Discord, I filmed a brand new opening. This week's video will be presenting it. along, with my visit to Wardruna, and I did it all cinema. I filmed everything. My old opener was all stock footage, and it was just basically an example of my editing. This one, like, now I want to work on my cinematography, um, and I updated it, and I actually got help. Like, that's another thing that I love about the Discord, like, the Discord channel and the community we're building in there. And I love about it is the fact that, like, I I love the fact that I put it up there. So I had like one shot in it where I was at the river, and I had been sitting in a little plastic chair the whole time when I was like praying in the morning, my meditation, my prayer, in the morning, my quiet time, my coffee, and I close my eyes and do my breathing ritual, my breathing exercises and everything, right? And so I took my Mjolnir off my neck and I hung it off the back of the chair and I filmed that, right? And I was like, oh, this is a great shot. And it's sentimental to me. None of y'all know about me, what I was doing on that chair. So I put it in a Discord, and somebody's like, I don't like the chair shot. I'm like, what, can you not see the Mjolnir? They're like, it doesn't scream heathenry, right? Because that word said heathenry. So they were like, hey, why don't you change in your altar? Bang, all right, cool, boom. So that shot became my altar. And it literally, it made everything. It made it, like getting that feedback. You know what I mean? So, like, that's another thing that I really love about the community that we're building here. Like, I love the fact that, I'm jumping on Discord and I'm having conversations. I'm going to concerts with people that followed me because of my content. Like, that's awesome. That's so cool. Like, I met G because G followed me on TikTok and literally on a comment was like, yo, you're in Bristol? I live here. And now I have a fellow Norse pagan that lives in my area that, I interact with on a personal level. Like, you know what I mean? We hang out. We hang out. We should hang out more often. We're talking about maybe possibly starting a kindred in real life kindred here, in the area. So, like, and that's all because of the content. I wouldn't have went to Wardruna if it wasn't for my content. I know Anthony through creating content. I got tickets to the Wardruna, and like texted me right away as soon as he like got the response from the email. Yeah, you want to go to Wardruna? Like, I might be getting tickets, and I was like, yo, that's so awesome. You know what I mean? And that's strictly because I create content, because I'm trying to build. Like, and like I said, I'm very much, if it's not there, I'll build it. Like, I don't care. I'll make it. Like, you know what I mean? I'll put the work in. And, another thing too, why I do this, I don't know if it comes through, but it's also, this is my sacrifice. This is my work. This is my artistic. These are my venerations to the gods. These are my venerations to the past. And yeah, it's in digital form. Yeah, but some of these edits are labor intensive. Like, you know what I mean? Some of the thought processes, like the sitting down and being like, hey, like, it's not easy to make a 60-second video every day, 60 to 90-second video every day on the subject of Norse paganism and not be completely repetitive. Like, it's not easy. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, and that's why I didn't carve it. It just kind of organically fell. What I'm doing on this channel, what I'm doing with the long form content is like, I kind of, and this sounds weird, whatever, but I kind of envision like the Martha Stewart of heathenry with my long form content. That makes sense? Like, I'm planning right now, to do like, I'm in the research phase of it, right? So I'm planning on doing like a whole big Yule episode with like recipes and a ritual to do, and a way to honor Yule that's both traditional and modern at the exact same time. I would love to make modern recipes using what was available to the Norse at the time, right? A lot of fennel, a lot of seafood, a lot of game, right? You know, but personally, I'm not, I like goat, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, so like, if I was gonna make like, let's just say like Thor Thunder tacos, right? I would use goat meat to do that, right? It makes sense. Like I would do braised goat meat, right? So I want to do for Yule like a roast. Like I want to do like a big roast and give the recipe and have the recipe in the Discord and like, so these are all the things that I'm working on. And what what the problem is I'm a one-man band. You know what I mean? And I'm juggling a lot of stuff at the same time and keep my head above water paying like living, because like, but it's all right. The long form videos, guys, too, here's the other thing. If you're like hanging out, like I'm at a solid 8. That's awesome, Tammy. I'm so glad to hear that. So I've had we've had 8 people in the chat for a minute, right? Solid. So like, here's the other thing. When you guys watch the long form videos, watch them all the way through. If I'm boring you, like if you really want to give the best way that you could support the channel right now, to support the platform, support the mission, right? And here the mission is bringing Norse paganism to the masses in a non-pulpy way. Spiritual freedom, bringing it to the masses in a way that's respectful, that's traditional, but yet modern also at the same time, right? And that's the mission. And the easiest way that you can support said mission is if you watch one of my videos, watch it all the way through. Even if you're bored, like I get it, just put the phone down, walk away from it, right? And because that metric, that analytic on videos, especially on this platform, is the biggest indicator of how big a video is going to go. So just by you saying, hey, for the next 8 minutes, even if Savage is boring as hell, I'm just gonna I'm gonna support him and I'm gonna I'm gonna watch it all the way to the end. Now, if you click onto the next link in the video, like go to the next video that's, that like in the channel, that now sends the channel out even more, right? So each time people watch more and more of my videos, each time you get a notification that I just dropped the video and you go and you watch it as fast as you possibly can and watch it all the way through, now the algorithm looks at those numbers and says, oh, people like this, so let's show it to more people. I gotta work on thumbnails. I got into the content game through TikTok. I started here, saw success on TikTok, worked on there, and TikTok feeds you to people. Here, you got a selection. You know what's the most humbling thing in your world? Finding out that having your face on the thumbnail makes it perform less. Hard fucking fact to swallow. That if I put my face on the thumbnail, that video performs worse than if I don't put my face on the thumbnail. That's a hard pill to swallow. But I also get it too, right? So if I'm scrolling, like Tammy is here, if I'm scrolling and I just see some dude like me, and especially, I don't fit the aesthetic. Not fully, right? like I don't, I'm not, I just like biker-esque and hip-hop, so I don't fit the aesthetic. So if I'm standing on a thing like how to venerate Thor, or when I get people say, hey, I sound like a late night infomercial, it's just my energy, you know what I mean? So it's just the way I present it. It's the way that I do it. That's why it's why it's called How to Heathen. It should be How I Heathen, but that's not how Google searches work. People Google how to. So when they Google How to Heathen, my book comes up first. My page comes up first. SEO, levels to the game. What else? What else is going on in my life or anybody else's life? Anybody got any questions that's in the chat? If you have any questions on anything Norse pagan, heathen related, life, anything, wicked. I'm walking on the stogie. Y'all think of some questions. Let's type one in the comments, and I'm gonna go grab another smoke. Have my coffee. Oh yeah, there was a whole bunch of fucking comments in the questions in the comments. How do we combat Nazis and fascists in the faith? Call them out. Here's my experience, right? So these two names down here on the bottom, once again, I know that one word will get you in trouble, right? So, little mustache men, people that think it's German paganism and not Germanic paganism, right? How do we combat them? 9 times out of 10, expose them. Ask them, my biggest card in that deck is I am more than willing to debate you on a live broadcast. You don't hear from them again. 9 times out of 10, especially in the comment sections on videos and stuff like that, they're not far right. They're not in Tiger Bomb's vicinity, right? When they are that hardcore and they don't care and they'll say it openly, right? That is when you just expose them. You intellectually draw them a beating. And just expose them for what they are, and I'll warn people. There has absolutely been cases of people that have that ideology that have infiltrated inclusive kindreds to shut them down, right? One of the things that people that have that ideology, should be out of a riot patient that goes to from a boy to a manhood. AI creation animations. That's a good question. I'll get to that in a second. But expose them, and is usually number one, because usually they're like, they're hiding in the shadows. They're hiding behind a keyboard, right? And they're not that big and brave and whatever. If they are big enough and brave enough to like stand up and talk, then you just let everybody know. Like, you know what I mean? Having a big mouth is probably the greatest thing you could do. Because people that have that ideology are going to flock there anyways. People that are against that ideology are going to flock the other way. And you're not going to beat hate with hate, man. The only thing you're going to beat hate with is love. Like, they are neutral. They are opposite sides of the spectrum. They are positive and negative. They when hit each other, there's a neutrality to it. Make sense? All right, so AI creations, animations. That's up to you. So here's the beauty of this path, right? Of this faith, right? It varied from family to family. Once again, I'll go back to this point every single time. What was the name of what was practiced in pre-Christian Scandinavia? There was none. It was culture. No one ever said, I am Asatru. No one ever said, I am Norse pagan. No one ever said, I am heathen. All 3 of those terminologies are terms that were coined by Christians, right? Asatru was by a bishop. Skip your Swordsons, S-M-O-R-D, I believe, right? I'm not 100% sure, but I know it was a bishop. Heathen's just been around forever, and that means uncultivated land, untouched land, from the hearth, simple country folk. Norse paganism, it's just the flavor of paganism, right? It's just the Norse period of time, the Norse area, right? Norse region, Norse time period, right? When that culture. So they didn't have a name for it. They absolutely did not have an organizing structure. And I appreciate that, Tammy. I absolutely will take that into consideration. I'll figure out how to do that today. So now, or maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I'm tired tonight. I'm going to cook some pork chops, wait for my girl to come home from work and go to sleep. So now they varied from town to town, it varied from family to family. It wasn't just this, it wasn't just this, there was no church. was no getting up on, Sunday morning. Saturday was actually the biggest day of observation, like religiously, right? Longer dog, right? It was pool day. So that was what we would consider a Sabbath. They didn't have a Sabbath. But that was the closest thing you could say to it, right? So there was no people went to the temples, people went to the hop. We don't know how scheduled the services were, right? We know they varied from temple to temple. We know some temples were specifically for one god and one deity or one energy. We know from some of the practices from archaeological finds, right? So if you believe that something in your practice, in your kindred, something that you want to do, that's up to you. And something as big as that kind of a ritual, I would absolutely take a lot of deep-seated thought and symbolism. What's personal to you that is Norse inspired? Because that's what I think I'm going to really start calling when I do these rituals. I think I'm going to start calling them Norse inspired rituals. Ben KG in the Troll said he says a few good things. Me and him are frenemies, whatever. I bust his balls a lot, but he does say some good. He does say some profound things. If you want to learn how to pray like the ancient Vikings did, we don't know. Nobody knows. We don't have a comprehensive way, but we can show you how modern heathens pray. And anybody that's telling you the opposite is control. Always remember that. Always remember that. If somebody is trying to tell you that there was a dogmatic way, they are trying to control. That's it. Only reason they would be doing it. No other way. They may think in their heart of hearts, they may even be doing it subconsciously, but it's spiritual control. That makes sense? I hope so. So yeah, that is a great thing. I would absolutely, so if I did all right, so let me show you how I would create rituals, right? I look at them like they were a recipe. It's like cooking. So, Seder, right? Seder magic, as we know. Seder means to brew. To ferment, cauldron. It infers, the word infers linguistically a cauldron. Right? So the easiest way to modernize it, right, would be kitchen witching, right? Witching kitchen, right? Now, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. What is magic? Magic is trying to influence fate in some way, right? So magical rituals are just trying to influence fate. Cleaning as a ritual will influence fate. Keep disease at bay. Is it magic? Yeah, kind of. It's influencing your fate, right? So now you got to look at the way you look at magic. Are you looking at it as David Blaine magic? Or are you looking at it as going to the gym on a daily basis is actually a form of magic? You're influencing fate. You're changing fate. So fate is the path. Destiny is the destination. The old folk tale, about the Norns carving 3 runes in the tree of Yggdrasil. The first rune is where you're born. Second rune is Verdandi, that's the present. Third rune is how you're going to leave the realm, right? Nothing you can do will change the first and third rune. The second rune, your actions change that on a daily basis. So if your third rune says you're going to exit this realm on a Tuesday at 3:30 in the afternoon, on this date, 25 years from now, at this corner, there's nothing you can do. It's like Final Destination. There's nothing you can do to avoid that, right? That's happening. But what you do on a daily basis changes whether you get at that intersection and you're a homeless drunk crossing the street or you're driving in a Lambo as a successful businessman. Get that? Does that make sense? So now, in that sense, right, your little actions on a daily basis affect the outcome of your destiny, right? It affects your fate. Going to the gym classifies as magic under that definition. Doesn't mean, right. Fate is the path we walk. Destiny is the destination. You can't avoid the destination, but your fate, you have a hand in. Okay. That is a great question, Robert. And I'm going to answer this so honestly that I might blow your socks off. I absolutely did not believe when I first started this path on a spiritual nature, when I first started this path on an academic nature, years ago, they were folk tales to me at first. That's why I understand what mythology is. I just hate the fucking word, because to me, the way I was raised and brainwashed, mythology was fables. It was fake. It was not real. And I looked at them like cartoon characters at first, right? Then I started looking at this path in a spiritual way. I read the book of Fire and Ice. I wouldn't say no, but I also would say that there should be more in the forward about how there's a lot of UPG in that, right? There's a lot of his own knowledge passed off. I hope I make it clear that when I'm passing off my UPG, I'm passing off my UPG. If I ever don't, please let me know and I will clarify that. There's a lot of times where I'm doing what I do because I'm just trying to demonstrate. And then there's a lot of times where it's like historically correct. And I'm very, very conscious to make sure that I differentiate on what's being sold, right? So that's with Fire and Ice. So then when I started like looking at this as spirituality, I looked at it as nature veneration, right, in the beginning. So, and I still do. So I looked at it as like worshiping the forces of nature, right? I looked at it as the scientific, this was the way that the ancestors made sense of their world. This is how they understood, because they used what they knew and what they could comprehend at the time to explain what was around them, right? So yes, I understand why Thunderer, Thor, right? Thunderer, Mjolnir, lightning. I understand why that would have red hair. Because if you've ever seen just tint the red in that streak, right? Absolutely looks like a ginger is pissed off. So I see that. So that's how I looked at it. And then I had an experience in Riyadh. And then I got this. And I got nothing. Like, I absolutely will tell you that I have interacted with Odin on more than one occasion. In physical, hand-to-hand touching. Physical contact. I will pass a lie detector test on this. The Norse god of wisdom, war, and poetry. Multiple times, right? If you had told me that 2 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, bud, all right, cool. Okay. Like, that's what I would have done. But I've had these experiences myself. So I can't do that no more. Like, yeah, they're real. I've had other suspicions of other things now, right? Of other deities. I 100% believe I interacted with Odin. I believe I've interacted with so many other gods too. Just not as obvious. I've meditated and thought and leaned on the ancient astronaut theory, right? So the ancient astronaut theory says that like all of the ancient pagan gods were extraterrestrial. By definition, they would be extraterrestrial in nature, right? If they're from another realm, right? But the ancient astronaut theory says that they would misinterpret the technology, right? That's why all the gods had technological items. They had weapons. They had things that were not, they were magic. Like if I took an iPhone back today, right, and I took it back 100 years, I'd have a magic box in my hand. I'd have a magic, you know. So like, there's that theory. So I've gone down that road mentally. But the most solid answer that I can give you, at the end of the day, I don't know, and I'm not built to comprehend.
Can I pet the dog?
Yeah. Just watch his ears. He has bad ear infections. He gets ear infections and he can yell.
It's a cute dog.
Thank you. So like, at the end of the day, kids just wanted to come up and pet the dog. I'm sure that they knew I was live streaming. They wanted to see that too. I was waiting for them to be like, "What platform are you on?" So, yeah, I'm literally in the middle of like, there's like, I'm at a light, like just sitting in the middle of the street on my porch with like a random lamp as people are driving by. Care. That's the other thing. That's another freeing thing too. Once you no longer care about what anybody thinks of you, that's a very freeing feeling. But like, at the end of the day, the answer is, I don't think I'm built to know. So like, I know they're real, right? That's not a question. Is Asgard metaphorical? Is Asgard physical? Is Asgard in another dimension? Is it on an astral plane? That I can't explain. I can't tell you. I really can't. I can tell you what the lore says. I can tell you what my mind's threw it at. But like, the 9 realms, are they 9 different planets? Is the Rainbow Bridge, a portal? Like, these are absolutely thoughts that I've had. Is like, could what they thought is the Bifrost, right? Yes, we know it as the Aurora Borealis, but they're specific in the 3 colors that there, right? So, could that be some like technological wormhole opening? You know what I mean? Could Sleipnir, or you know, could Drags the goats, right? Could Thor's goats and his chariot have been like some kind of a technological like flying device? I thought about that too. Like, is that all possible? Gungnir sounds like a freaking heat-seeking missile, like, or it sounds like a GPS target. Like, always finds its target. Sounds like it's one of those, you know, smart guided, right? So, where do I like? I don't think I'm built to know. I've heard this before. Like, I've heard it in Christianity. I've heard it in like a bunch of different spiritualities. Think about being like drawing a two-dimensional figure, breathing life into that two-dimensional figure. That two-dimensional figure, like drawn on a regular piece of paper, like stick figures, they get a life. They start running around. They're friends. They're cool, right? Now they try to look out and see our world and see the third dimension, right? And they can't comprehend what the hell's going on out here. That's what I think is us to the gods. I don't think biologically we are capable of understanding what they really are yet. But real, that's not even a question. Rocky, hey, boy, don't even think about it. You already had one today. All right. So with that, I've been on like a little over an hour now. And I apologize about being late. I hope bear me one time for sure. What's up? Just a guy doing guy things. I tried to get you just a guy doing guy things. I tried to get you. You were the runner-up for the Wadruna concert, but I didn't get a thing. AI Creations. I see the Ravens and animations. There's also Mundane Over Magic, man. Like, I know where I live. I have like every day I do a Hobble video. I just did this. I just do this up on TikTok. Every time I do a Hobble video, I have crows outside yelping. Right. I also live right down the street from a bird sanctuary, so. There's that. You know what I mean? You know, so Mundane Over Magic. I can't tell you 100% what I think it is. You know, But here's the thing, right? Do the Ravens mean something? Here's when it's a sign, when it means something to you. When it has meaning, that's a sign. If there's just random crows around or ravens around, that's not a sign. I don't really think it's a sign. Unless that raven was specific to, like, why? Like, who's trying to contact you? Do you feel it's Odin pulling towards you? Like, is he sending you an immune to you? Is that what you're feeling? But that might possibly be two. Usually that's two ravens at a time, right? So, not that I'm discounting it. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm saying is that I look at every other aspect I possibly can. I don't just take it as this is some kind of divine magical experience. Now, if at my dad's funeral, there was a raven. And now I had, I don't know, a baseball card that was his in my hand. And a raven appeared. Now I got a sign. If I'm just walking down the street and I hear a raven, do I live in an area where there's ravens? Do I live in an area where there's crows? You know? Philly traffic is terrible every day of the week. So then, absolutely, that's a sign. Like, if it means something to you, if there's a personal moment, we don't just, like, we know when something's there, bro. We know when something is being told to us. You know it. Trust your intuition more. So if you feel that it's a sign, it's a sign. I don't let me or anyone else ever. But like I said, I am the kind of guy, because I don't want to look like a gamook. Like, I don't want to look dumb. So I don't come, like, everything's not magic to me. Like, I look at all the other possibilities first. I cremated my mother too. My mother still comes through in other ways. I mean, that's what the ancestors did, especially when they were on opposing soil. They always had cremation ceremonies, fiery piles. So, I don't know if there's dogs in Valhalla. I'm just saying, I know we got to pass the Hound and go to Helheim, but, like I said, also, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I've never been there. Can't come back. Like, so, like, the afterlife, like, that's the other thing, too. Like, the biggest sign of growth in heathenry is not caring about the afterlife. That is the biggest sign to me. So, just the guy doing guy things, right? I want you to look, and I'm going to show you. Do you mind if I use your comments right now to teach us a lesson? I want to get permission before I do. I want consent. But do you mind if I use your comments right now to teach a lesson real quick before I jump off? Please say yes. Please say yes. No, not AI creation. Just the guy doing guy things. Do you mind if I use your comments to teach a lesson? I don't want to insult him if he's not. Okay. All right. So, everybody that's in the comments right now, I want you to scroll down to just a guy doing guy things. First comment, right? My dog is named after Var, goddess of bolts and contracts. We later arrested in July, went to the mountains to a place called Ravens Falls. I asked the Azir to give me a sign that she will wait for me in Valhalla. Out of seemingly nowhere, a hawk flew in a circular pattern upwards ascending. I knew right then she was accepted into the gates to wait for me. She may not be in Valhalla, but she may be in Freya's halls where two good do go, die, and battle may go, right? So, I want you to take those comments and I want you to replace all the words naming a god, Azir, Freya, Odin, and I want you to just put the word God. And then I want you to just take heaven out of there, Folkvanger, Susramir, and change that to heaven. Do you see the Abrahamic mindset in what you wrote? Do you see you're worried about the afterlife and where you're going to go, which means you're still living in fear. Listen, I'm going to get there. It'll take a minute. You're still living in fear. You're living in fear that a mistake that you will do in your lifetime as a mortal will now affect what you feel is an eternal soul. Which part of your soul? Your Huger, your Hermir, your Filiga? Which one? What are we talking here? Your Herminga? What are we talking here? We have parts to our soul, right? Our consciousness, so now is what you're thinking. So your Huger, your thoughts, your consciousness. Your Hermir is not coming with you, right? That's your grounding vessel to here, right? Your Figa is your connection to the other side. So we're going to take our Hermir and our Figa. So we're going to take our mind and we're going to take our connection. We're going to use that connection to bring us to where we're going, right? But you're still worried about destination. You're still worried about worthiness. You're still implying that she got into Valhalla or got into Folkvanger or Susramir. Implies that she had to check off a list of values and worth. Right. And you start by walking that long road of Yggdrasil to Helheim, by walking with your head held high in life while breathing. Worry more. I don't want to tell you what to do. But you start deconstructing when you're not worried about the destination. Okay? Why are you Norse pagan? Why are you heathen? Is it so you can go to Valhalla? Is it so you have a shot at going to Susramir? Is it so you can go to the halls of the ancestors? Or are you a heathen because it is a path of honor, honor, hard work, venerating, and walking a certain way? Is that more appealing to you, or is the destination of the spirituality more appealing to you? Because one of the biggest, quickest things that I see, right, one of the biggest, quickest burnouts that I see, one of the things you see in Norse paganism when you've been around for a while is you see turnover, right? So you see people that came in at a hardcore, skull to Valhalla, and then that shit wears off. And then they actually got to do some fucking shadow work. And then they actually got to learn who they are. And then they actually got to read a book of fucking stories that's translated into English that sounds like Shakespeare shit on a fucking, on a 300-page diatribe. And then they got to apply that to their modernity. It's a lot of fucking work. I could just go back to church and sit with the pastor's going to tell me and do that work for me. A lot of times that's what guys like me end up being. We end up being some kind of a pastor because we do the work and we try to show people the other side, teach them how to get there and give them the guides. The man who loves to walk will go so much further than the man that loves the destination. Love the path. Learn but that's just signs of deconstruction. And it's signs of, and I know I got to do a whole video on deconstruction because deconstruction is a very, very, very difficult subject. And a lot of people use the term, you got more deconstruction to do. You don't think like it? And it's this, right, I love being around the nature. I love the way from knowing is prepared for every reaction. Right. So it's this, a lot of what heathenry is making sense of the world around us. That's what the ancestors did. That makes sense? I really hope that helps. But I'm going to jump off Yeah, I'm still learning the path day by day, and I'm like 8 years into this, 9 years into this. Literally, 2025, I'm going on 9 years in this path, right? And I still learn every day. I'll be learning until the day I die. The day I stop learning is the day that I stop breathing, right? That's the pay. That's the thing for that's our thirst for knowledge, our thirst for information. Um, I appreciate all you guys too. Everybody, thank you. I'm gonna have a great night, and you all have a great night. I gotta go. Hope he's gonna be home soon, so I'm gonna make some pork chops for us. And I got an old friend I gotta call that wants to talk about TikTok. All right. So and like becoming a TikToker. So becoming doing social media. Everybody have a good night, man. Next week, I'm going to try to get on by 6. I don't have therapy. I do it every other week. So it might be easier to get on that. Everybody have a great night. Stay fucking savage. How do I end this? X.